What's up, everybody? Nick Daniels here, Commercial Live Man, yet again. And today we just got a quick little story here for you guys. Well, it's going to be a few minutes, but it's going to be a few minute story of a couple of girls I dated that all coincidentally had the same name, and I want to go through all three and just kind of say what the hell happened. This was several years ago, but I think it's still interesting. And I've told this story recently, and people were very intrigued by it, so I figured we'd share it here. So anyway, this is gonna we'll use some fake names, but Emma 1, Emma 2, and Emma 3, right? There was three Emmas. So they all had the same name, which was pretty cool. Not like obviously last name, but first name. And I met them all, I believe, through Tinder, if I'm correct. And I wanted to kind of roll the dice and see what was going on. So Emily, and this could be in the correct order. I don't actually remember which one was like, like Emily or Emma or Samantha 1. I don't know. I don't remember who was who, but we'll say Emma for this one here. And I don't remember what order they were, too. Like, I don't remember who Emma 2 was, or Emma 1 was. I just know all three of the Emmas. So Emma 1 was pretty interesting, and probably the one I really wanted to talk to. So Emma 1 was actually a student, which is kind of where I started putting in my rule of, like, maybe students are a no-go, on where I'm at today. And I think I've improved a lot, kind of as a dater, if that makes sense. I reflect on some of these dates and maybe why they don't go well, or the follow-ups, and sometimes it is my fault. I do see fault in myself, and I go, oh, okay, that's probably what she was on to. Sometimes it's out of your control, right? So keep that in mind. But Emma 1 was pretty good. She was really cute. We went out for an ice cream cone. I thought we had a good time, and we did. We had a great time, and I think I just gave her like the hug goodbye or something. I might not even have done that, but I keep it simple on something like that. It was very friendly, but I thought it was cool. We went to like some retro diner kind of thing, got an ice cream, and the cone date, right? It's always a good little startup, like a coffee, basically. And I didn't have a bad time with it. She had cute dimples, so I was like, man, I'm feeling this. So after the fact, and kind of beforehand too, she wasn't much of a texter. I guess with school and all, I guess a little too busy to send one message a day. And it went about a day and a half to 2 days before I heard anything back. Like I did initially hear something after the date, but that was trying to line up the second date. And as many times as I try to line up a second date, between the first and the second, I get ghosted a lot. A lot of people just won't actually say they didn't have a good time or didn't feel the connection or whatever. They'll just ghost. And it happened recently, too, where, I had a good first date and then I got ghosted. So that's assuming what's going to happen. So I tell her, I did message her, twice, once and then a second time. That's it. I don't go crazy. And I was basically, and I just kind of sent her a paragraph, and I was like, hey man, I don't know if I'm really feeling this, you're just not really around, you're not giving me the signals I'm looking for, which is kind of like, you're into me or not. She responded back, ironically, very quickly after that one, and basically just called it off because, I was looking, clearly, I guess I kind of, she didn't say per se, but I came off as needy, and looking for someone who would be available more often. I tried to kind of, fall back a little and be like, hey, come on, we can make this happen. I thought we had a great time. And obviously it fell through. So what I kind of learned from that one, I mean, hell, this could be its own story, but, what I learned from that one was, coming off a little needy, but, I wasn't coming off, I wasn't where she was, right? And I wasn't asking a whole lot. I just like hearing from someone once a day. But, just a couple days of not hearing from you after the first date, just immediately in my mind, I'm being ghosted because it's usually how it goes, right? I just don't hear from you for 2 days. Okay. And then 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, and then it's just nothing. But yeah, so now I'm also not a really big texter anymore too. So I'm usually actually pretty good. If I don't hear from you for 2 days, I just won't say anything. And I usually just let them ride out. I won't chase you anymore. I don't send you the second text message. I don't send you the paragraph calling it off. I just accept it that's probably going to happen. So it's interesting. I don't know. Let me know. Maybe it's not, and maybe in that way I'm not showing as much interest, but I'm not chasing. So let me know. Emma 2 was interesting. So Emma 2 I actually had met, and we kind of just went with friends. And I think that kind of worked out. She was fine, but I just wasn't really that into her, romantically. But I thought she was cool. I mean, she was fun to be around. And we ended up hanging out, actually, definitely a few times. I even had a roommate at the time, too, and the three of us got along quite well. I met Emma 2's friend. It all went well. She was cool. I was cool. Everyone was cool. But unfortunately, what happened was she confided in my roommate, that she was still into me and I wasn't into her, which was a problem. So the roommate was trying to get me to be into her, but I wasn't into her. And I made that clear that I wasn't into her, and I was like, cool, I want to be friends. And sometimes that goes well and sometimes it doesn't go well. I find it hasn't really gone well since that. And naturally the friendship just died out. She ended up getting like a partner, and then, you never really hear from them ever again. That's usually how it goes when you're single. You hang out with your single friends, and then when they get their partners, then, well, you don't hear from them so much anymore. So, naturally Emily 2 kind of fell off the ladder. Emily 3, I can't remember much about Emily 3, to be honest. I don't think I ever met Emily 3. We switched names now too. We've gone to Emily. But yeah, so I think Emily 3, I never really met. And that was kind of the problem. Like, you don't really meet, you're talking for so long. And I wasn't into her physically. She was just a little too big. So I think Emily 3 kind of fell out, but I remember talking to her for like an exaggerated amount of time. And it's also where I learned, like, whoever you're talking to, right? But like, if you're going to be interested in someone, you need to like express that, I think, like fairly early. And usually you would do that by asking them out or something. And if you are not into them, you need to make that abundantly clear, like I did with Emma 2, right? Instead of Emma 3. Switch names again, I know. But I'm just using fake names. Obviously, I'm not going to be like, oh, it was like Samantha Harlot. Like, I don't know if that's a real name. But yeah, like, you make it evidently clear. You say to them, like, hey, listen, here's where I'm at. Even if you haven't met, you should probably say something. I do understand ghosting before you've met, but if you've met and then you ghost, I think honestly, that's really shitty. And that's not really the way to go about it. So before I had met Emma 2 and Emma 3, or sorry, I met Emma 2, and I let her know. I did let her know after, and I don't believe I ever met Emma 3. But I did let her know that I kind of wasn't feeling it, or like maybe friends or something like that. And naturally as well, that just kind of falls off. So that's why I don't really like texting for a long period of time without meeting. I like to see if I can meet you earlier to just not waste your time and my time. So anyway, Emma 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's a little tale of Sophie 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to keep Gertrude. I'm just going to keep coming up with women's names. Gertrude, 1, 2, and 3. So let me know if you guys get your own stories like that. And it was all the same time, by the way, too. They were all like within like the same like 2 weeks. I was talking to them. So that's why it was very significant as well. So, all right, take it easy. Nick Daniels signing out. Peace.